everybody, and welcome to your favorite podcast, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast, the best podcast that there ever was. Do you see my Chapel Roan reference?
I saw what you did there.
Girls Unscripted. My name's Kate.
I'm Carolyn.
And yeah, I just did a little Chapel Roan reference for all you fans out there.
Woo!
Before we get started, Carolyn and I are currently wearing lip gloss that was sent to us by one of our fans named Lena Cosmetics. So
look how shiny
our
lips are.
If you like the way we look, that's why. We have the best fans. We love our fucking gabbers.
So fucking much.
So thank you. So this week we are recapping Vanderpump Rules Season 1, Episode 3, titled You Don't Know Jax. First of all, I say this every time. These episode titles are gold.
What was this episode title?
You Don't Know Jax.
Oh, you don't know Jack.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shit. Girl. You fucking solved that mystery.
That curse word.
You don't know shit. Want to just dive right into it?
Let's just start at the fucking top because there's a lot to go through.
There actually is. This was a good ass episode, and I feel like we're like broken records being like every episode was a good episode, but this first season has really surprised me. We say this every time, but I forgot how much shit happens in this first season, in these first 3 episodes.
It's Shakespearean, and it's just, we just don't see this anymore, where it's a group of friends that were literally friends and we're just coming into the middle of it. It's not like they were picked and plucked to create drama. It's like the drama was there, bitch. We are just getting a sight of it.
They're just putting a camera in front of them now.
They're just, as Paige
all of
said.
This shit was gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that it was caught on camera, we are so lucky.
We are blessed. Count your blessings.
So the first scene is at a cafe in Hollywood, and so Stassi and Jax just broke up at the end of the last episode, and now Katie and Kristen are coming in to talk to Stassi about it.
To comfort her.
First of all, they walk in already defeated. They're like, "Here we go again."
I know.
We've heard this shit 1,000 times. Like you could tell they don't want to talk about this.
No, they're and they don't do a great job of comforting her either.
No, and I know they're like 23, 24, whatever. I do think Kristen is like 30, but they are horrible friends. They are really bad friends, Stassi. And so they're pissed. Basically, to them, Stassi and Jax breaking up is ruining their little friendship trio. Mm-hmm. So Stassi's sitting there kind of confiding in them over like all the reasons why she wants to break up with Jax, all the things that they did break up, all the things that he's done to hurt her. And all Kristen and Katie do is like reminisce on all the good times. Like, remember when he picked you up in his convertible and you guys look like Barbie and Ken?
So stupid and tone deaf of them. But I mean, also Kristen knew what she was doing. Can you imagine Katie today standing up for Jax like that?
No.
Like that this is
Carolyn,
the same person?
I have a note similar to that later in the episode where I literally wrote, can you imagine Katie and Jax like getting drinks while Katie comforting him,
scheming together to make things right with Stassi?
It's so strange,
crazy that they're so on Jax's side.
Something must have happened to Katie because it seems like Jax has always kind of been the same.
Yeah,
it's Katie that kind of probably finally fucking opened her eyes and was like, wait, I actually don't fuck with this guy.
Like, oh, that's actually kind of crazy behavior.
Because we said this in our first episode of this recap, Jax is still the same person.
He's still the same person. And he always knew and still does know what to say to get the girl back. And he knows what to say to the friends of the girl that he's trying to get back.
Yeah.
So I can totally see it. He says all the right things. I messed up. I don't want to do that. I want to be better. And they're just eating it up.
Yeah. Wow. He acts like a little baby.
Yeah.
I'm a little victim.
Oh, man. I'm just doing my best.
And if you listen to our weekly gab this week, he does the same thing there to Brittany.
I know. I wanted to say that there
I'm a
too.
little victim.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't with this guy.
I know.
This episode actually does a really good job at like feeding us little scenes that will come into play later. Like it's a really good build up. So like the next scene, they're at Sir, and it's really not important, but the only thing that's happening is the schedule is just a mess and Natalie doesn't know what to do about it.
It's a disaster.
And that's pretty much it. And then that's all we get, and then we move on.
Yep.
But we'll be brought back to that later in the episode.
Let's circle back. We'll leave that where it is.
We see a quick glimpse into Kristen and Tom's apartment where they're sharing concealer. True love.
My only note here is the 8x10 thing was such a fucking pain in the ass. I wonder if actors still have to do this today.
Oh, so to spark your memory, Sandoval is complaining that all paper should be 8x10 because that's the size that headshots have to be.
Headshots for submissions, for whatever reason, they have to be 8x10. paper isn't made like that. And like, these are actors in their home printing it from their HP, whatever. So you had to like print it out, cut it, then staple it or glue it or whatever.
Yeah, because you'd have your resume on the back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was such a pain in the ass. And I wonder if they still do. I guess everything's digital these days. I don't know.
True. I think, as far as I know, they did still do it that way.
Jeez, it was a nightmare.
It should just be, not that paper should be 8x10, but it's that headshots and resumes should be 8x11.5.
Yeah. Just do that.
Yeah, it is a little ridiculous. But now you got a little inside scoop.
That's how they do it.
How many headshots do you think you've taken over the course of your acting career?
2 rounds. But when I was 21, I went to New York to get mine done.
From Tennessee?
From Tennessee, yes. I was still in college, and I went to get them from the guy.
You went to New York just for headshots?
Just for headshots. And I got them from Jordan Matter, who's the professional king of headshots. They were so fucking expensive, but I did got a kick-ass headshot that I used for like 7 years.
Hey, yeah, that's worth it. I guess it all pays off.
Looking back at, I'll bring it and show it to you guys. It's hilarious. I look like a child.
I'd love to see it.
And then the next set I got, because I was like a little bit older, and then I quit quickly thereafter.
It does seem like a whole to-do.
That's a big thing.
In LA, there's always those like vans that are like free headshots in this van.
I would totally do that if that had existed back then.
Well, so nowadays it's like everybody's got a friend with a camera. It's not as serious. Yeah. But back then,
it was like, I don't know anybody. And cameras were like harder to get. Phones didn't really have cameras back then.
Fair. I love that inside scoop.
Anyways.
Okay, so next we go to the Silk photo shoot, and it's spelled SYLK. I looked up the brand. Doesn't exist anymore.
I was going to say, I highly doubt they're still in circuit.
But there is a Silk SYLK natural lubricant if you're in the market.
Oh, fantastic.
So just throwing that out
Isn't there a Silk razor?
Could be.
Or is that SI?
I think that's SI. So this is, if you remember, they go to this photo shoot and they find out that one of the girls that they're filming with,
God forbid,
she used to live with Tom Sandoval and did hook up with Tom Sandoval. Before him and Kristen ever even fucking dated or really even knew each other. Okay? But they are acting like this girl went into their room, ripped Kristen from the bed, and forced herself on top of Tom.
The reaction is truly out of this world. I mean, she gets sick. She's about to throw up.
Kristen, it's so embarrassing. She's having a full-on panic attack. And it's like, if I were that girl, I'd be like, bitch, chill the fuck out. Like, I think it's embarrassing for Kristen.
Could you stop talking? It's like really upset. It was like my bed.
Yeah,
it was my bed.
Yes.
It was, it's just like, I'm really upset right now. If I were at a shoot and some bitch did that, I would knock her lights out. So that's crazy.
So basically, Stassi, they're like, they don't know if it's her for sure or not. Stassi goes, fine, I'm just going to ask her, yo, Casey, did you fuck Tom Sandoval? And she just goes, it was a really long time ago. And
it's a meeting.
They did not like that answer.
They didn't.
And then she goes, we were just like babies. We were babies. But also, I think that girl was kind of like, it was a long time ago. Who gives a fuck? You guys weren't dating. It doesn't matter.
You didn't even know each other. You didn't know you existed. He didn't know you existed. How can you be mad at someone for doing something before you even knew your DNA was on this planet?
I know. And the cattiness that Stassi and Kristen have, it's like, yeah, so Tom used to live with 2 Asian girls that worked at Hooters.
Rude.
And they used to work, twins, and they were twins.
So they're like
2 Asian twins.
That they're hookers.
And they used to look like hookers, but they don't look like hookers anymore.
No,
so
she was doing like models saying that they're hookers.
Oh yeah,
like ridiculous.
And then they were like, yeah, they're models like where they get on top of a car in a bikini, which is so funny because didn't seasons later, Kristen's like washing James Kennedy's BMW in a bikini.
That's very true.
And they're like making out on top of it, and then they say she used to look like a hooker, but she doesn't look like a hooker anymore, so she doesn't look like Sheena.
Yeah, that
they had this throwing a Sheena
jab.
I
tell you,
Sheena's not even fucking there.
That made it to the spreadsheet. I can't stand it. Mean girl behavior. I just can't. I won't tolerate it.
So we're gonna go with the spreadsheet at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go through it.
Fun fact, though, that girl Cassandra is on Selling Sunset. Does she look familiar to you?
Oh, yes. The one from this season?
She's on she came in on season 7.
Or whatever
I don't know. Yeah,
and
I don't watch it.
And she was in Cabo or something.
You're asking the wrong girl.
Yes.
I just knew that she was on Selling Sunset.
I just now put that together. I knew she looked familiar.
Yeah.
That small world.
It was a whole Reddit thread. Like, I remembered seeing it. So, yeah, she came in selling Sunset season 7. Her name is Cassandra Dawn.
That is hilarious. I guess she did real estate after modeling. I also think it's so funny that Kristen, the way she's talking in her confessionals is as if like obviously this is such a big deal. Like, assuming production feels exactly the same way.
Yes.
But she's like, it was, I know, embarrassing.
Like, wasn't this so traumatic?
It was just,
how fucking crazy was that?
I know, right? Awful.
She's acting as if, and I do say this later when she fights with Tom about it, she's acting as if Tom Sandoval orchestrated it to like sabotage her.
Yes. Yeah. He knew back in time that in the future there was going to be a girl named Kristen and they were going to date.
Right. How lucky though, if this wasn't orchestrated at all. Do you think production was just jizzing in their pants when that shit happened?
I'm sure they were egging her on.
This was supposed to just be a throwaway scene of Stassi and Kristen in a modeling shoot.
Yes.
And then it just so happens that the other bitch that's there fucked Tom Sandoval.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, they're eating lunch. They probably came here. Like, why did they need this scene? Well, they probably need this scene to talk about Sheena or talk about something.
Right.
And they kind of touched on it, but it quickly veered very left when they talked about Cassandra.
It's so amazing.
Gold. This is like, it's the little moments like this that make season 1 just the GOAT.
Literally. So we go back to Sir, and Jax is all sad about Stassi, so he sits at the bar and vents to none other
good old Frank.
Than Frank. Bad move, buddy.
Frankie Frank.
He's not your friend.
He's not your pal.
Frankly, he's not your friend.
I love what you did there.
Thank you. Jax says to Frank he will never, ever live with a girlfriend again.
Which I almost put as an audacious claim because it's just that's wild.
Well, it is an audacious claim considering he met Brittany one time in Vegas and then she literally drove across the country and moved in with him immediately.
I know, but he didn't know that at the time, so like I can't.
He knew she was gonna go. Oh, you mean? I understand.
You know, he didn't know future, but that is crazy for him to think that. Never, ever again. And Frank isn't giving full sleaze here, but he's definitely giving something.
No, this guy's bad news.
He's giving a little bit of something not good flavor. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just can tell something's not right.
So now Kristen is on the clock. Okay, Sandoval comes in for a drink. I do find it hard to believe that these people just like go to their workplace to drink when they're not working, but that's beside the point. Mm-hmm. Kristen is mad at Tom for his old roommate being at the photo shoot, and it's all his fault.
And how on earth is it his fault?
And she's sitting there in front of Jax and Peter, kind of like you were saying, almost like, right? Isn't that crazy? Can you guys believe it? And they're both sitting there like,
so uncomfortable.
Are you serious?
Was she mad that he all of it's preposterous. Was she mad that he had sex before he met her?
Yes.
That has to be it, right? Like what? Why else is it his fault?
Because he's not allowed to have a life before Kristen. It's funny. Like I'm constantly trying to put myself in the shoes of a first-time watcher when I watch the show.
Yeah.
AKA how I said that I feel bad for Sheena and I kind of team Sheena, whatever. Yeah. As a first-time watcher, I am so team Tom Sandoval in this situation.
Yes.
Like, I never thought that Sandoval would not be to blame for anything, but he is so not to blame for this. He didn't fucking do anything wrong.
It's so funny that you say that. When I was doing the sheet for this week, I was like, I'm not going to give Tom any points here because I have to act as if I'm a first-time watcher. I can't base on the future what's happening here. And he didn't do anything wrong.
No, he didn't do anything wrong.
Although you can start to see the shine behind his eyes of dismissing his partner and even though he was in the right, you still see a glimmer of kind of the ugliness underneath.
You see a glimmer of that for sure. He doesn't actually give a fuck that she's upset. You see crazy Kristen. We're seeing a great origin story in this stupid little storyline.
Yes, exactly.
I think he's kind of getting off to the fact that she's mad at him too.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's like, he likes that the women are fighting over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I fucked an Asian twin that used to work at Hooters.
Yeah.
He didn't say that, but he's thinking that.
Yeah.
I hate that that's how, by the way, they are referring to them as that.
They are referring to that. And they're sex workers, not hookers.
Yeah, we are just quoting.
We are quoting.
So then Stassi and Katie go to the hair salon. And there is a major bomb drop. Stassi's been hanging with Frank.
And Stassi's caught so red-handed. And we know because of the timeline that this had to have been days after she broke
Barely.
up. Maybe the next day.
Yeah.
Of like, it is, as Jax said, the paint is still wet.
Yes.
And when Kristen says that she's been, hearing all this stuff, that she's been fucking Frank, her face is so funny of like, I've been caught. I've been caught. And she like doesn't say that they hooked up, but they absolutely hooked up.
Yeah, she's just like, we've been hanging out.
Wait,
was she there with Katie or Kristen?
Kristen.
Oh, my bad. No, I said Katie, so that was my mistake. My mistake, folks. And it's funny, though, because this is just like a tale as old as time. Now that Stassi started to hang out with Frank, Jax is starting to become a good boyfriend. Just for now. He's cleaning the apartment. He's taking the dogs out. And now Stassi's torn. What do I do? Because now Jax is being so great. It's like, duh, he's only being great because he's losing you. That's how it's manipulative. He's just trying to get you back.
And also, duh, Frank's only being nice to you because it's manipulative. He just wants to get in your pants and you're vulnerable right now.
Or he wants to like one up Jax.
Yeah.
Or he wants screen time. I don't know. I actually had that written down. I'm like, I don't know if he actually likes Stassi. I don't know if he wanted screen time. I don't know if he wanted money. But to me, it's clear that he actually doesn't give a fuck about Stassi at all. I think he thinks this entire thing is funny.
He's a dick.
He's like, oh, this is fun. Whatever. Fuck it. This is silly.
When he gets really drunk and his personality shows, it is obnoxious.
And you're right. He probably was just like, yeah, I just want to fuck her. And then he learned that she was a little crazy and he was like, this is too much for me.
Yeah. All to be young. Has that ever happened to you though?
That a guys just wanted to fuck me? Yeah, all the time, sister.
So a lot of people do.
Yeah, wait, who said that?
Stassi says that next episode. At least in the preview. But have you ever been in that situation where like you break up and you get into something new and then they want you back but you're in a new thing?
Duh.
Everyone has.
Dude, yes. When me and my ex broke up, we still lived together for a couple months after. It's another story. And
not by choice.
A big issue in our relationship is like never complimented me. Never complimented me, never said I look nice, whatever. So when we were broken up and I'd leave the house to go hang out with my friends or whatever, he would wait until I left and he knew I was like walking down the staircase and I'd get a text. You look beautiful.
And now
Fuck you. These men.
The audacity. I'm choking on it.
Yeah, because they just victims.
Then Kristen and Katie and Jax all grab drinks together.
Yeah, and first of all, they grab drinks at Los Globos. Have you ever been there? It's like a dance club.
It is.
And they're sitting there in dead silence. Like the lights are going, but there is not any music. I just thought it was silly. Like, we love to give you the LA scoop. That is not what that bar ever looks like ever. That was like 1 p.m. on like a Tuesday where they were like, fine, we'll open it up to you to do this scene.
They had to get the shot.
But no, it's crazy. So yeah, Jax, Katie, and Kristen are having a drink and Jax is sulking and he's all upset. And
I want to be good for her. I want to be the best guy for her.
He's feeling sorry for himself and he's doing the same spiel to Katie and Kristen that he did to Frank. And yeah, I wrote, imagine Katie consoling Jax now. Like, it's so weird.
Wild. And that they're like trying to scheme together so that the band gets back together. It's a different time.
It's crazy. So they do another like quick little, like they do a few blips in Sir like throughout this episode. And it makes me feel really bad because it made me realize every little blip they do into Sir is what, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And it's just the sheen of Sheena, like waiting on a table, getting a drink order because no one will film with Sheena. That was my takeaway. Think about where we saw Sheena was only at Sir this episode, and she has no point in this episode other than that.
I think her point of this episode was that exactly, that she was the only one there. And because Stassi was fucking up, she says just put Sheena in her spot so they could have controversy of Sheena taking her shifts.
Good point. Yeah, we will. So we'll get to that at the end.
Because in the middle of it, that's the only reason they have that scene where Sheena says, hey, do you have any more shifts open? I need some shifts. Well, then episode, what a coincidence. We need someone to pick up some shifts.
Fair, good point. So they're dropping the seeds that Sheena's the only one at Sir and no one else there. Good point. So then they go to a club called Supper Club, which I guess was Vogue. The club was called Vogue, and I think the night was called Supper Club. Yeah. I don't think this place exists anymore.
I don't either.
But it looks fucking popping. It was right on Hollywood Boulevard, I could tell.
I'm pretty sure I went.
You probably did.
I mean, it was a long ass time ago, but yeah, there were like certain nights nights or something.
It looked really fun.
Yeah, it looked great.
So Stassi is out with Frank and her other bestie Jen, who we see a lot over these first couple of seasons. I do think we didn't see her enough on this show though. Jen was always kind of there, but she never had a presence.
I didn't know who she was. I was like, who is this girl?
You'll see her a lot throughout the show.
Okay.
You'll see her again. She dates Jeremy, who's also a busser, and we see her at Stassi's little mourning for her relationship, but we'll get to that. What I thought was a little awkward was the fact that it was just those three out at the club. Just Jen, Stassi, and Frank.
Yeah.
Really awkward third wheel situation for Jen.
I can see how this went down though. I can see Stassi being like, we're going out to film. I'm going with Frank. I don't want to be alone.
Katie and Kristen won't come with me.
Will you please come with me?
Yeah, that's exactly
Just
it.
come with me.
Yeah.
And then Jen is in the middle of this shit show.
Also, by the way, Frank just kind of looks like a douche. And I don't even feel bad saying that because of
he acts like one here.
Well, he acts like an ex-college frat bro.
Yeah.
We just
Which
know.
he probably is.
Right. We just know he's a piece. Actually, I think Katie even says that later in the episode. We just know he's a piece of shit because he does shitty things after this season to Stassi.
I wanted him on the sheet so bad because I needed to give him so many points.
Oh,
things,
yeah.
But I can't.
He's not even worthy of the sheet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Being on that sheet is an honor, and he is not worthy of it.
He's not worthy of it.
For those of you that don't know, Frank took a screen recording of Stassi over FaceTime, pleasuring herself, and then tried to sell it. So fuck Frank.
Oh, that was Frank?
That was Frank. Yeah. She never really mentions that it's him, but it was Frank.
Oh, that Lisa paid for?
Lisa paid only $900 to get him to stop doing it.
Oh my
That comes
God.
into play a lot season 2 or 3, I believe.
It comes up one season, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to getting to that.
Well, then Jax shows up.
Jax shows up in a taxi in a 3-piece suit.
And
Looking for trouble. He's coming to win his bitch back.
He's coming in hot. And ladies, he just knows exactly what to say. He said all the right things that if I were in that moment, I were 23, I would have also left with him, I think.
He actually did say all the right. You're right. In that moment to her.
He was fine that she was with someone else. He doesn't care. He's just here for her. It's fine that
I don't care about him.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
He also said, I'm not drunk or drinking, even though he's slurring his words.
Yeah, I'm not drunk or drinking. He knows what to do. He's good at it.
And it works. He swoops up Stassi and they ride off into the sunset. And Frank doesn't give a fuck. He's like, this is too much drama. Fine by me. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Doesn't put up a fight at all. But then the second Jax leaves, he becomes big man, right?
Yeah,
you know what? You fucking. Well, guess what? You don't know everything. He got a girl pregnant in Vegas. Did you know that? And it's like.
There it is.
And I feel like.
There it is.
Now, here's my question. Why did he say that though in that moment?
Why didn't he say it earlier?
It makes me feel like he saw Stassi in the spotlight get taken away from him, and that was his last ditch effort.
I took it more of as just ape behavior of I'm mad, power gone from me, me spill secret I have, type thing of because I mean him and Jax kind of were friends, and so it really makes it seem like he was with Stassi and he didn't tell Stassi because he didn't want to out Jax. And then all of a sudden that was just gone. Now he doesn't have any allegiance. Don't throw stones, people. That's what happens.
Or he thought that Jax wouldn't care that they were together, and then he did. So now he's going to say it. Or maybe Frank just forgot that he heard it, and then it just came to him. And he was like, oh yeah. And he got some girl pregnant in Vegas.
Crazier things have happened in this crew.
It's very
Not
true.
Not many. It did score high.
Oh, very, very high. Mm-hmm. So then we go to Jax and Stassi's apartment, and we just find out that Stassi's parents died in a flaming building. And oh, wait, nope. Sorry, I must have been confused because she's acting like her parents died in a flaming fucking building. God. That is how she is acting.
Man, I missed this.
No, everyone shows up to her apartment in mourning. They all might as well have been wearing black to mourn this news that she found out that Jax got a girl pregnant in Vegas. Now, maybe I'm being a hypocrite because Ariana did do something similar when she found out about Sandoval and Raquel.
Well, different situation.
Yeah, this is a lot. What Stassi is doing is a lot. They're all literally just sitting there staring at her while she's crying in a silk pajama suit.
Yeah, very different situation. They only dated 2 years. The people that were in this room comforting Stassi barely knew herself.
Right.
And Ariana, the show is established. We have a rhythm now with the show. If something happens, we want the aftermath. It's part of the equation. This was just shit's going down. Go to the apartment, see what's happening.
Right.
This is what's happening at the current moment. She's in a silk pajama
and
suit.
she's in a silk pajama suit. So then Stassi and Katie walk in, and they don't even believe that it happened. They're questioning everything.
They are not having it.
No. And I do understand Stassi's frustration in this moment, because literally in the beginning of this episode, Kristen has a fucking conniption about this girl at the modeling shoot that obviously was stupid of her to freak out about. And Stassi didn't even question it. She was a ride or die for her. And that is not being reciprocated at all. Do I think both? I think both situations are fucking stupid. But I think that if I were Stassi, I would be upset that Katie and Kristen are not being good friends at all. They are siding with Jax.
Oh, I do. And she said it well when she was like, it doesn't matter. He still got a girl pregnant in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. And I get it. I think that Katie and Kristen are being cautious. Like, imagine like working in a restaurant with all your best friends, and then there's like a busser that you guys have never fucking talked to before, and they just come into your friend group and try and implode the whole thing.
That's true.
Like, this guy they don't even know. They just see him at work, comes into the friend group and is literally imploding the whole thing. And let's like break the fourth wall for a second. They're also probably thinking, this is a show about how we're all dating our friends, and like now you're not dating one of the main guys in the group. What's that going to do to this show?
Yeah, but also what a freaking weird specific lie to make up on the spot. Like, if no one's that audacious to be like, I'm going to say that Jax got a girl, let's say she got pregnant, let's say it happened in Vegas, let's say it happened 2 months ago.
Right.
Like, all of that is so specific that it clearly did happen.
Yeah, there's so many factors. It's like, he got a girl pregnant. Okay, that's one thing. In Vegas.
Okay.
2 months ago specifically.
Okay. Oh, she was getting an abortion. Okay.
And she called him to say he got an abortion, but Jax, I guess, answered it on fucking speakerphone. Because the reason that Frank said he knew is because
he was in the car.
He was in the car when the girl called Jax and just said, hey, Jax, by the way, I'm pregnant, but don't worry, getting an abortion. And that just so happened to be caught on speakerphone. That's why I'm saying this friend group would be doing this shit whether it was on camera or not. The fact that that wasn't caught on camera is a sin.
Is truly heartbreaking. I think that's the day they put in like little GoPros
in the car. They were like, never again are we missing this shit.
Never again. And by the way, we're still all within the same episode. Everything we've just said,
just to make it clear,
has
this is
happened
one episode
in less than 42 minutes.
Insane.
So, oh my God.
Then they drink. They're at, it's Stassi and Jax's shared house, and they go, let's drink all of Jax's Cristal. And they pop all the bottles of champagne and they drink all the Cristal, which, knowing what we know now, he probably fucking stole it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's funny. I didn't think of that.
So then we go back to Sir, and in a dramatic turn of events, we're back with Natalie trying to figure out that damn Sir schedule.
If only there were someone that could fill in for irresponsible people that need to be suspended.
Because Stassi keeps calling out and she doesn't come to work, and it's so frustrating. Is there anyone that comes to mind that maybe has just been asking about getting more shifts earlier in the episode?
Katie?
No, it wasn't quite Katie.
Peter?
No, he's a manager now, so he doesn't. I think it's
Sheena.
And now Sheena, she may be Stassi's arch nemesis, but work is work.
Work is work.
It's not going to be a big deal replacing Stassi and Sheena.
And she makes a big point to say, don't say anything about it. Just let it happen.
Lisa says,
basically saying, let's just have Sheena die for this.
Yeah, so they replace Sheena on the schedule with Stassi. So Stassi is now off the schedule. And Lisa, first of all, horrible practice if you are like working in a restaurant to say, don't even tell Stassi we took her off the schedule. She actually says, and I quote, the news will travel quickly. This bitch is an evil genius. She knows they're all going to be talking shit. I need to stir up the drama. This is a show after all.
Right.
She is a producer, and that producer is producing.
I bet you money then they asked Sheena if she would film that scene about asking for more shifts.
Yeah, probably.
Probably went out of order.
But I don't even care.
Theory.
Because I loved it.
That was amazing.
Oh, so good. And then we end the episode with Tom and Jax.
Doofus and Doofus.
Literally. They Tom and Jax go back to Jax's, and it's after, the funeral.
Yep.
And they walk into Jax's place, and it is trashed. And you want to know what I actually did like? Sandoval was shocked at the state of that place. He literally was like, oh my God. And then he's like, oh, they drank all your Cristal.
The Cristal.
No, his jaw was dropped.
He was upset. No, and when he goes, Kate, when he was sitting there and he said, I was livid. He does the livid line.
Wait, who does that? Sandoval?
Sandoval does that when Jax is sitting with him saying like, and then this happened and then Frank did this. And Tom like pulls out this performance from his inner gutturals. And it's just like, when I tell you I was so livid.
Well, I mean, people forget now because it's been so long, but like Tom and Jax were so ride or die for each other, almost too ride or die for each other.
And it starts here where he's like, I know Jax so well and he would never lie about this.
He says, yes, I wrote that down too. They're talking about, Jax says to Tom, this is what happened. Frank is saying that I got a girl pregnant in Vegas. Tom Sandoval says, I've known Jax for so many years and I know when he's lying and I know when he's not. And he's definitely not. Well, you obviously don't know Jax.
And
you don't know Jax.
Oh!
That was a mind fuck.
I mean,
you obviously don't know Jax.
You obviously don't know Jax.
Title of the episode, You Don't Know Jax. Sorry, wow. That was just a really fun.
I mean, I think we need to stop.
Okay, but I do want to say one more thing.
Okay, please.
We can't talk about this final scene without mentioning that Jax's sweater is inside out the whole time.
Holy shit. Not only is it inside out, it has a random sleeve to sleeve hole gash.
I didn't even see the hole. I didn't see the hole because my mind was so focused on the silk strings that you used to hang it on a hanger.
It looks like he just got in a brawl and like producers were like, you got to turn that shit inside out.
Like not only was it inside out, you could see the tags, you could see the hanger strings. And I'm like, maybe there was a logo on the front. It doesn't even look like there was a logo on the front. It just
looks like, I bet Sandoval's like, dude, your sweater's inside out. And he goes, I don't care.
Or maybe he was like, you know what will make me look even more like sad and disheveled? If I just like come in with like my shirt inside out.
A broken
I haven't slept in days. The shirt inside out was truly the icing on the cake.
It was remarkable. It actually did make the sheet. I did put it in there.
Okay, so speaking of the sheet, where are we?
Okay, so for this episode,
this was a great fucking episode.
Great episode. I'll go through them quickly. I'll also go through this on TikTok. Please follow me there at Carolyn for real.
Yeah, if you want to see the sheet actually like written out, you made a great PowerPoint presentation too.
It did really, yeah. I was really proud of it. Go there. Okay, so we're gonna start with Katie and Kristen try to convince Stassi to stay with Jax. This is at the top of the episode. I'm gonna give them both a 1.
Yeah.
Stassi says Sheena looks like a hooker. I don't like the term and mean girlness, so I gave Stassi a 1. Kristen melts down at photoshoot because co-model slept with Tom before they met. I gave this a 3. It technically was at her workplace.
Well, I agree. It was such an overreaction, dude.
And 3 is like, this is absurd.
It was absurd.
I
agree with you.
Kristen then melts down at work and fights with Tom Sandoval because co-model slept with him before they met. Again, a 3. I think that was absurd. Stassi says she hasn't slept with Frank when she 100% has. That was with Kristen. I gave her a 1. I think that's a lie.
I think it's a lie too, but I think 1 is safe. I agree.
1 is safe. Tom talks back to Lisa when she brings up this fight at work. Oh, this was a subtle line, but when she goes, this is my business, and Sandoval goes, no, it's my business.
I think that he also just misunderstood what she meant by business.
I know.
Like she meant workplace, and he was like, no, it's literally my business. It's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow, really good catch though. Sandoval has been talking back to Lisa from the fucking start of this show.
Just like his mouth be a yapping.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a 1. That was rude. Jax got a girl pregnant in Vegas while he was with Stassi. I actually think this is a 5.
Yeah.
I think that's not real. It's close to a 4.
Well, no, it's a 5. I agree it's close to 4, but I would make it a 5 because of the amount of lying.
The amount of lying that goes into it,
yes.
And he lies for a significant period of time.
I'm with you.
And due to the table and the rubric, that's a 5.
I'm with you.
Katie and Kristen take Jax's side / refuse to believe anything. Why did I give them 3s? I gave them 3s. That seems harsh. I may change that.
I think it may be a 2 though. They're being pretty bad friends.
2. They're just being bad friends.
Yeah.
They're just being bad friends. This is getting out of hand as a 2, and I feel like that's just getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think that's getting out of hand as well.
Stassi drinks Jax's Cristal. I gave it a 1. I just wanted
only a 1. He deserved it.
He deserved it,
yeah.
But it was a funny thing. I wanted to keep it in in here. Stassi skips work without telling anyone. You at least need to let people know. I gave that a 2 just for professional sake.
I respect that.
It's getting out of hand. You can skip work, but you gotta let people know. Jax inexplicably has his sweater on inside out with a giant hole. I gave that a 1.
And it deserves that
because
one.
this is ridiculous. Sandoval says, how can you trust somebody like that in regards to Frank? Oh, ooh, yikes. I gave that a 1 because it was audacious. But I guess future me doesn't know that he's done that yet, so I'm going to actually take it back.
Can you elaborate on that scene?
Okay, Sandoval, when he's sitting there going, livid, I'm so livid, he goes, how can you trust somebody like that? Talking about Frank screwing his best friend, which is audacious, but that's because Sandoval literally fucks Raquel, his partner's
Understood.
best friend. But it's future, so I'm gonna have to delete it.
I think that it shouldn't. I agree.
Sandoval lies for Jax, saying that he's telling the truth. I think this is a blatant lie.
So you think he does know?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
I'm going to give him a 1, though, because there is some doubt in that. Okay. That is a judgment call. Jax takes the dog without a conversation. I gave it a 1, although it sounds like, I don't know the things around the dog. It sounds like it might be his dog.
He said it was his family dog or something, but it was funny. So when the end of the episode, they're like leaving him in Stassi's apartment, and he's like, I'm taking this dog. And it was very Legally Blonde. I'm taking the dog. Literally, he says, I'm taking the dog.
And walks out just with an animal. I don't know. It seemed like it needed something. Gave it a 1.
One thing about Jax is he always he loves little dogs.
He does love little dogs.
Anyways,
who knows? Tom.
Wait, so does he get a 1 for taking the dog?
I gave him a 1 because I think it is his dog. He probably deserves it, but he took a living thing without conversing with Stassi about it. So
fair.
And then, I felt like Tom had to get something for this because he compares breakups with getting radiation. Of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
He said, don't worry, man. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like radiation. Well, him saying that to Jax reminded me that people numerous times have said that he has a really weird, bad sense of humor.
His sense of humor is...
It's bad.
It is ridiculous.
It's like dad jokes, but actually bad dad jokes.
And also inappropriate. That's a cancer treatment.
And it's he knew, in his mind, he thought it was really
funny. You could see him smiling to himself. Yeah. Man, I thought he was
yeah, good thing the camera caught that.
Yeah. He's so proud.
Stupid.
I gave him a 1. So this week, Stassi is not first. She's actually third with only 5 points. Jax has 7. Okay, so he has more. Sheena, 0. She didn't really do anything wrong here. Kristen has 9. She has started her ascent on the board. Sandoval has 3, Schwartz 0, Katie 3. So if we do this all together, and so I took 1 away from Sandoval.
This is so impressive that you're doing this, by the way.
I know. I really hope it catches wind.
You are a woman in STEM.
Y'all tell your friends. My friend then showed me a account that does bachelor numbers that does this with bachelor statistics, and I was like, we could go even further. Anyway, okay,
now you're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So in total, Stassi is still ahead of everyone, but not by too much at 41. Jax is at 26, which is still, he's catching up to her faster. Sheena has 9. Kristen has now really entered the board with 16. Sandoval 7, Schwartz 1, Katie 6.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't even see Schwartz this episode.
Yeah, Schwartz wasn't even in the episode, so we can't give him anything.
Wow. I can't believe they already have that many points and we're only 3 episodes in.
I know, but the first, the pilot, I went a little crazy, so I've had to scale back a little bit.
Once we get to season 7, you're going to be like, Jax has 4,800 points. Sandoval has 2,720 points.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and I do it with pride and love. So
you are a woman in STEM.
Thank you so much.
What can you do?
I'm a woman in STEM.
We do get the preview for next episode where we see Kristen, Katie, and Stassi finally start to officially fall out. And next episode, they're already going to Vegas for Stassi's birthday, and all hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks.
In episode 4 of season 1.
I don't know how the points are going to shake out for that. I'm going to have to pause and really think about it.
Oh, you're going to be typing away.
There's stuff going on over here. There's stuff going on over there.
Yeah.
Their fights.
Oh, so good.
One thing I also did this week was I got ASMR. I prepared an ASMR to bring back.
It's been a while since we've done the ASMR.
It's been a while. We got a few comments that it was missed. So I thought maybe... It's summer. Why not make things a little weird?
Let's be crazy.
Let's get fucking crazy.
I could use the relaxation, to be honest.
Are you ready for it?
I've been ready, baby.
Okay, this is the foot back. Sit back in your chair, relax. Think about really special things and places that you went to when you were a young woman before you were corrupted by this evil world. All right, and now we have some ASMR from Vanderpump Rules. I'm so confused. Does everyone know the Pope drinks rosé on the balcony? Who said it?
Raquel
said
it. Yeah, doesn't Lisa say, like, does the Pope have a balcony?
She asked for rosé and said, does the Pope have a balcony? And she was very confused.
Wow, that was a good one. That's a deep pull.
We're having to start doing deep pulls because we've gone through a lot.
I love it. It's like my favorite little quiz. Yeah. I'm not very smart, but if I can excel in one thing,
Catherine,
it'll be guessing those.
I will never allow you to say that ever again on this podcast.
You know, I know that was a bit self-deprecating.
I'll put you on this sheet.
Just as a reminder, if you did not listen to our weekly gab, we are taking a break next week. We are not going to be recording over 4th of July week because our producer's in Chicago, I'm in Philadelphia, and Carolyn will be in Norway seeing Taylor Swift and also going to Amsterdam to see Taylor Swift.
Yay!
Well, only seeing Taylor Swift in Amsterdam, not Amsterdam and Norway. Amsterdam, is that in Norway?
No.
That's a totally different place.
Yeah.
Really stupid question for me to ask right after I was like, I am smart.
Yeah, no.
Is Amsterdam in Norway?
Well, it's fine.
It's two different places. I get
it. Yeah.
So we'll all just be out of town. So we're going to take a pause next week. We're going to enjoy our Independence Day. And then we'll be back the week after and we'll have lots to talk about. If you're a Swiftie, Carolyn will give you all the deets of her Taylor Swift concert in Amsterdam.
Torture Poets Department. Let's go.
Big stuff. Big stuff. And as always, thank you guys so much for all of your comments. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for commenting. We love I always like the YouTube comments. I think they're fun.
We love, and we've been doing this for, a few months now, but we're still really new. Any sharing you do is so appreciated. Likes, ratings, subscribings, talkings, gabbings. We so appreciate it. It really does help us out a ton.
Yeah, not to sound desperate, but even just tell your friends, like, you guys don't even have to listen to this fucking podcast. Can you just subscribe on, like, the YouTube channel? Because we are almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Guys, we're almost at 1,000. We can almost make $1 off of this.
And that's more than we have before.
Thus far.
So anyways, that's enough begging for today.
Yeah, that's enough. We're going to let you go.
Thank you so fucking much for listening. And until next time.
Bye. Everyone.